Welcome into the first mile of money for me, Gabriel Lucana, as I just completed the money vehicle curriculum. Let's dive into my financial plan. So, as I mentioned, Gabriel Lucana, I'm age 18. I'm going to be moving and living in Los Angeles, California. I'm going to take a job as a plumber. Good news, a lot of companies there needing my service and help. I'm going to take a starting salary right out of high school at Pro Plumbing, Power Pro Plumbing, and earn $40,000. My goal is going to be to continue to understand more and more of the industry and start to learning some heating and air vac, all kinds of options out in California. As I look at goal setting, I wanted to go ahead and start setting my rich goals. My learn is going to be this week. I want to read Unspoken Rules and You Are a Badass. I want to stop looking up the fancy lifestyle in LA, stop hitting that snooze button, start building a cushion of about 3 months' rent, $1,500. And also, after I'm done with that cushion, start saving up for a car. The time value of money, I looked at my burn rate. When I get to freedom, I want to spend about $6,000. That would be $72,000 a year or 1.8 million of my financial freedom dream number. So if I'm able to save and invest $279 for the next 42 years, earning around 10% per year, I will have my freedom by age 60. That's with $279 a month being saved. My money buckets, as I learned throughout the curriculum how to calculate each of these differently, my society choice is going to be about 14%. We'll dive into that a little bit later. My future choice, I'm going for it with 20%. Compassion, that 1%. Special Olympics, Team Gleason are my compassion choice. 1% is going to go there. My past choices are about 25% because I don't own a whole lot yet. I don't have a lot of fixed past choices. And my present, who would have guessed it, is going to be expensive at 40. That makes my burn rate about 65% of my salary. I need to manage that before my plan goes up in flames. Control my burn. As I look at my foundational accounts, I have to go start my checking today account and my savings tomorrow account. I have chose SoFi Bank. They are a bank and they are FDIC insured. What I loved about them is that they had no fees. They even had a $50 overdraft protection, which is going to help me, and access to a lot of ATMs around town. I didn't need a minimum deposit, which I really liked. As I looked at a savings tomorrow account, I wanted something that was going to earn me a little bit of an interest rate. And so what I went with UFB Online Bank. They were able to give me more of that interest rate that I was looking for. 5% right now in a traditional savings account compared to the national average of 0.5 is an amazing, amazing use of those dollars. And I can start putting that Corona cushion in there to start working for me as I get payment. Got to get that financial reputation in place. Got to start looking at how to start my credit card. I went with the Capital One Platinum card. Why? Well, they want me to have a decent credit score, but they are meant for beginners, so they're understanding up to about a 580 credit score. My APY is 30%, but I'm going to be able to pay it off in full each and every month. That I know that is how I'm going to handle my credit. As I looked at my credit report, I'd also be able to get that through Capital One. As you see, my illustration on the left is reflecting an index fund. I went with the Schwab Total Stock Market Index. This is where I'm going to open my brokerage account, and this is what I'm going to start investing in today. It's $95 today. I'm hoping that obviously goes up in the future. And as I begin, I can put all of my money into these 4,000 companies headquartered in the United States and feel pretty good about my diversification, but understanding in the future, I'm going to have to get outside of the United States. My visual around protecting all the things that are valuable to me and transferring hazards to my wealth. I found a policy on Geico for my Ford Escape. This isn't this year, but this is when I buy it in a year. I'm going to need an auto insurance. So I started shopping around today. Found policies all the way down into that $70 a month, when in reality, I know it is very expensive to have auto insurance, but even more expensive to drive around without auto insurance. Going out in California, the minimum coverage I could get is 1535. That's per person, 15,000 per accidents, 30, and 5,000 for property. Needed uninsured because a lot of people are driving around uninsured these days. As I looked at my cybersecurity, cyber defense, I found a site called RoboForm that I'm going to put my passwords. It's secure, it's inexpensive, it is going to be efficient to use. This is going to be my first line of defense as those attackers come online. You can see our turkey is doing its taxes. We're going to go from gross to net income using that turkey analogy from the program. I have a total tax liability of about 12%. You remember my money buckets was 14. That's including some sales tax. But as I looked at what my elections are, 2024, 14,600 for my standard deduction, 2024. As I look at where I'm going to start filing, I found a really neat resource in the VITA volunteers to help me because I am under their income threshold. As I look at a tax advantage account, I know I have a brokerage account that's at Schwab. Now I want to go open a Roth IRA at Vanguard. And I'm going to take any of my extra income, I'm going to cut it in half and put it towards my future, putting those dollars to work for me. You see, I chose VOO, which is going to reflect the S&P 500, not as diverse as the Schwab total market, but still pretty good, diverse index fund that's going to go to work for me. Last but not least, on the pay stub, I wanted to find things that were inches for Gabriel. When I went to work, I would know my customer's name. I would drink a cup of water when I woke up. Small, little, subtle changes that are going to make a big impact. And what does enough mean for Gabriel today is knowing I'm driving in the right direction. I look at that road and I say, I know where I'm going. That's enough to get started. What is going to be enough in the future? Originally, I saw 1.8 and I've set my plan at that. As everything will and does change, I now see 3 million or $460 a month that I need to start to invest to be able to achieve that freedom and dream. This is your first mile of your financial plan. I used AI, ChatGPT, and other resources to generate and create these little visuals. But on this Google site, I want you to go and create this not only for your project, but this also for your future. Cannot thank you enough for paying attention, for investing in yourself, and for driving your money vehicle. We'll see you at the next stop.